Consistency is the issue, because they have rounds like this where CNED's popping off. We saw it at the end of Haven as well. We saw big rounds from Ninja. Alorante had some great flanks. It's just not there every time.
Yeah.
And also not at the same time either.
It seems like, yeah, very difficult for them to get all their stars firing, but also one player's comfort becomes another player's discomfort. Like the swap of roles onto Raze for 7, it just hasn't looked good. Like he is 7 and 14, and 2 of those kills came versus the bonus. This round, though, much more of an opportunity. 7 playing anti-flash, 2 on a stack-up.
Down.
Clearly expecting there to be a consistent amount of pressure put onto ARP, because they're very happy to give up the other side of the map. Stun through, it's a little bit shaky, but Ara, yeah, he's going to have to just fall back. The rest of his team hoping to make their way through the smoke, and Ara has come up with a big double. However, the last 2 players sat with pistols, now a rifle found. Well, the information might just get them into the post plant.
Here.
If they can find the spike, it is hidden. Very difficult to spot. No, of course, they're just waiting.
Yeah, well, the suspicion, you saw the ping go through from West Side, expecting that there will be a player a little bit deeper. And he's got the right read. Three coming in just as he moves. Cupert steps into the angle, rips his head off, and leaves Grubby all alone. The timing, oh, it was almost perfect, but they've rounded the corner just as he got there. Ships in the night, but Alorante, the one to open the broadside. 6 now for Pacific. And again, I think back to Haven where they were 3-2 up. And then the game fell apart completely. A streak from GX. And it feels like the same thing here. A close enough start. 3-2 down, but
Nice,
within punching distance.
My God,
And then they go quiet. And GX run away with it. They build up such a lead, and eventually Pacific get back online, but it's that low point in the middle that just gives too much. It asks for too much to be met on their side for that success to be found.
Yeah. You're talking for a point of needed a significant amount of rounds in a row. And they are still at that point. 5 rounds needed to get themselves level. A little bit more if they're going to take it in regulation, but I'm yet to have that level of belief. A buy round now back in, and while Westside versus Alorante has been a very one-sided story so far in this match, and with the B site now completely open for business, it really comes down to, can they kill Ara cleanly? And they can. That at least gives them a way back into this round, because a 5v4 retake on B, I don't believe at all. 4v4, there's potential, but it is still tough.
Well, they certainly know the flank is coming. And the man that's watching it is West Side. He can have support quite quickly. Indeed, the flank is almost all that's coming. CNED sitting back in spawn with the up, hoping for an overextension, but there is none. Instead, looking to meet them head on the flank, finding a double. He goes a nightfall though. This is going to catch the majority. Does it reach all the way to the back? No, it doesn't. It leaves a bit of a gap, and in fact, that gap is the only place that they've got anyone standing. Flickless, the final one to fall. And Pacific, with a sensational retake with how it started. They're going to keep themselves alive, 11-7. I'm starting to believe the gap is looking doable, crossable at least.
Well, they're halfway to being level. It would be a streak of 8 rounds in a row if they are to get there, but...
Yes! Come on!
I'll be one to get the blood pumping, that's for sure. Especially into that late round, I wasn't convinced that they were going to get back in. It seemed like even CNED wasn't until they get that Nightfall online, and then he starts moving, then he pops an ult of his own. Still going to be a purchase for GX, and their ults are building up. They have a lot of very high impact ultimates to potentially just get over the line. And now CNED with that operator, showstopper available, a chance for Alorante to evolve. They haven't had to use everything to get through these rounds.
Concealment.
Yeah, credits built up favorably as well for Pacific. They have a safety net to fall back on. Showstopper ready and available for this round, and Pacific already putting out a feeler on mid. Second Prowler's being sent in, saw nothing. And now the 4 players that are occupying that space on the defensive side, they have to decide where they go. Unfortunately, they go towards A. The rotation now slower, and CNED left on his own. Gets one, and even decides to stick around in a risky enough position, but that might get them the info when the smoke falls. We've seen GX flee towards mid, where now there is a fight brewing with Ninja. It's a bit of a risk being in this spot, especially when there's a trip right beside him to hold down that push, but it has worked out. The double, an advantage is built on from here.
What was he saying? The off-angle king? That's what he was calling himself earlier.
Last player standing.
And clearly it worked.
Spike
It's
down,
playing
B.
a slight, as you said, unorthodox position because of where they were placing that trap. But it's worked out. A big round for Ninja and that climb back. Definitely going to be continuing at least a little longer. 5 rounds in a row now for Pacific. And we start to look back to that attack side
10
half
seconds
versus
left.
Vitality for GX. That was where they really struggled. I think it was 2 to 10. It just didn't get anything going. So if that's going to be the case again, and what was there before was just the momentum of that previous half getting them through, 3 now the difference. Pacific are genuinely getting themselves into a spot where I'm starting to question what GX have got left.
Well, that's it. They're on course
One enemy
to
remaining.
find that success. And in
Spike
fact,
down, B.
perfectly timed from GX. A timeout. Their first of the map. They felt in control, and as rounds started to slip away, they said, okay, let's see if they can steady the ship. But finally, it's captain on deck. And the coach gonna have a lot to say. This is a great opportunity for GX as well. We've talked a lot about them. I think last week, the whole narrative of, do they have the embers under the ash still, or have they completely teetered out? And we saw sparks of hope. We saw moments. But here, this is their chance to get right back into things, to decimate Pacific. And in fact, there were opportunities for both of these maps to close out dominantly in their favor, which would be for everybody a sign of, okay, GX might be back. They're on track to get back on form. But if Pacific do come back into this, if they bring us to map 3, if they were to best GX, well, the ash smothering the embers perhaps in that case. Again, both of these teams 0-1. You set the stakes at the start, Tom. Whoever loses this, it's basically goodbye to playoffs. It's not guaranteed, but they will need a miracle run and certainly a complete change of face going into those last 3 weeks, especially with the teams they've yet to play.
But that's the thing, is like you're talking about Pacific, Vitality, and Fnatic alongside Eternal Fire. GX, pretty much the same, but they've already played Vitality. You swap them out for BBL. It's not better, is it? It's I'd say about the same in terms of where we put the teams at that top end. Many will have them on their way to London at the end of these next couple of months. And a pacey take being attempted. Gonna be the early trade, not too bad. 7 though, showstopper over the top, but Cloud's doing well. That Sheriff doing damage means he has his ultimate online, but did they expect Cupid? A snake in the grass, sneaking his way through, clears 1, clears 2, leaves just 1 man standing, and in fact, he'll take the lot. A clean sweep from Cupid as a solo retake, where the plant never even came in.
No, he interrupted it, got ahead of the curve, and now, while we talked about the others having their big rounds, El Capitan stepped up to the plate too. Pacific looking online from top to bottom, while GX hot off a timeout. They find nothing. They get nothing. And I think that shows you everything you need to see.
See, do you know what? Do you know what's always good though? They say that like men sometimes suppress their emotions. Pipson never does.
I ain't never seen
does.
Pipson suppress a
There's
ball.
no suppression there. He lets it all out so that he can get back into the game.
He was shaking
same as Alex. Alex don't suppress his emotion. He lets it out and then he gets himself back into the right mindset.
Bring back Barbar as a mental coach. That's what I want to see.
I do miss it.
Have you tried breaking the table?
The table is the enemy.
Pulls up some wrestling VODs for the guys to look at. Well, here we go. Deep play from Pacific. They're trying a bit of aggression, are going to be met by a trap.
They found my wire.
And that wire broken. Westside knows what's going on. Cam's going to spot one walking through, the others with a patient face. And now they'll group up. I like this. This could completely catch them off guard holding mid, but Westside not one to miss those kinds of shots. Oh, man.
I know
the right
exactly
idea from
where
Pacific, but GX, they were ready. And the fact that it wasn't just Westside, the Grabinho is there as well, is very unlucky for the defensive side. But those shots landed. There's no look about it. That's pure skill. Hold on. He's wrapping up behind Alorante. He's being watched, and the shots don't land. Cupid, great round last round. This one, yeah, would be a bit too much. And again, for GX, they pounce on him at the same time. Very nicely done.
Yeah, made sure that there was never going to be any shenanigans. And as you said, I don't mind the call. I don't mind the idea, but it is just the shots again from Westside. So clean with it. Moving himself ever closer to the top of that board. And that's the problem.
Nice! Come
You
on!
see these sort of streaks going in, but when you are this far behind, a single round can be enough to break it. Like that's the moment that all of the doubt creeps back in, all of the worry of, okay, this map is slipping away, and all that momentum can just dissipate. Pacific need 3 in a row just to stay in this series. And maybe, like, I know it's super early, but with what we expect, maybe even stay in the tournament.
Bring them down.
Well, Pacific get the info early. And they're in the right position to avoid that ultimate coming through. The C's not so much. Ara's already going to get side control for free in the
Good
spam. It takes down 7. A wild spray through the smoke. I don't think he could see him from there. The X is further back than where the body actually was. He was still on the steps. Oh, that's devastating. A player down already. CNED on his way with an off. He spotted one close, but the stun doesn't catch him. There's a second man behind him. They are ready for this swing, waiting for it, and Ara doesn't need any help. But Alorente with a triple. They're still in this. They're still alive. Pacific have fought their way back, and the game far from over.
There he is. There he is. He's definitely been missing, and we've been waiting for those moments. Oh, we talked about the, like, Westside and how he's known for that sort of headshot capability. But if you talk to anybody in the tier 2, the name that always came up was Alorente.
Well, you know there was a lot of teams interested in taking him outside of Pacific as well. This man was a hot prospect, and
I need to walk it off.
That's what you're waiting to see.
I'm walking it off. I'm walking it off.
12 to 10. 2 chances to close this out, and the attack side, historically not kind to GX. Ara 23 and 12 as well. I mean, again, what a phenomenal turnaround from this guy. But from what we've seen so far, it might not quite be enough.
Do you know what we've missed a trick on? We need a Pips and Pip, the Pip. We just have him in his live reaction the entirety of the round. It's like a watch party, but he's also in the coaching booth.
That's what I like about seeing him when we tune into the comms. We can kind of see him in the corner and just...
He's beatboxing.
It looks like he's IGLing. It's like back in the day. What is this, a game of Fracture? 12 to 10, 2 rounds to go. And GX, they are on the verge of course correcting on that last week, setting themselves up to still be in contention. Maybe not for the top of the group, but to make it through. And oh, those players coming back in. Art timing is perfect. It looked like it was perfect, but 7 and Ninja dealt with by Flickless. Another huge round by him. Oh, CNET knows, and he'll catch one. He'll get out, but he is surrounded and has to fight his way out, brawl his way back to his buddies. And he spotted them. He's seen a player up close. That's the only man he needs to deal with. Alorante's on his way, but CNET will be there waiting.
One coming through. Cloud stunned up, but no one able to react off it. A very low HP CNET, but with an operator, that might not be too bad. The players have been heard, making their way to the site, and that's CNET gone back into a 2 versus 2. No salvos to be had, not a lot of post-spawn this fight. It's everything, and Cooper wins it again. The position not good. Westside had to run.
Pips and Cam.
And this continues to climb back. 1 round now the difference for Pacific. Just moments ago, I believe they were, what, 8, 9 rounds behind?
Well, we talked about this, the climb up from the very bottom. The bottom of the pit. They were 12 out of 12 over in kickoff, coming into this, expectations low, and then GX start to bruise and batter them. But now, we haven't seen this kind of climb since Christian Bale. 12 to 11 Pacific. A team everybody counted out. They've won so many rounds, not quite in a row thanks to round 21, but it's good enough. One last hurdle to jump over. And what could be the final round of this map, of this series if GX are to take it. Let's listen in with GX for this pivotal round.
BBL, BBL, BBL! I'm pillar, pillar, BBL, The reveal.
Dead.
Tetris, Tetris, Tetris.
Tetris.
Last player standing. Spike down B.
And the final blow of regulation, it lands with Cupid, but this game is not over yet. If you told me you believed in OT, I would have called you a fool, Tom. But here we are, 12-12. Somebody get Pips in a new desk. This one is going the distance and then some.
It's giving me flashbacks to, do you remember the game they played versus Genpace where they lost 11 rounds in a row? They were dominantly in the lead on Bind, and they just lost. I think it was every single attack round they lost to Starzo's Calling. It just seems like one of those games where at every single hurdle I'm going, okay, post plant 5v4. Oh, they lost that one. And just each step of the way, somebody brought back in from Pacific. Like, these players have stepped up, and we were joking about how it was the 7 show. It actually hasn't. It hasn't been him in this map. It's been anyone but, in fact. He's definitely still been there to liven them up, but this game is now firmly in their hands. And GX, they've got to feel dejected at this point.
That's the thing, right? Both teams have had the same performance to end up here. They both won 12 rounds, but in how we got here, in being so close to reaching their goals, to fall short like that,
I'm out of here.
no doubt. This is a tough pill to swallow for GX, but the battle is not over yet. Another map after this, if we even get there. They could close it here and now.
Hara was a shining star, but the operator this time doesn't land. I think they're even potentially waiting for his attempt on a reswing. 40 seconds left. Committed to this B site. A 4th player rotating in. And Ara taking some serious damage. Alarante's gonna miss. They've almost forgotten about him. And he has sprung to life over the last couple of rounds, but another man they've forgotten about is Ara in the backlines. Somehow still standing, and now the only one left. He will fall as well. Alarante with another high-impact triple. And Pacific, from the depths of defeat, now have their first map point.
Map 3 on the horizon. What a play as well. The bait here was perfect from Pacific, and it starts long before our replay does. They're standing on long, they're putting utility out, the stun, the nade, then the wall goes up a while after, each time letting it settle. Pushing players out of position and not filling the space. That leaves your opponent sat there going, what, they're gonna come now? They're gonna come any second now. Are they rotating back? What's happening? And as they're ready, as the neon wall goes up, Alarante strikes in the back. Oh, that is unbelievable. For Pacific, thinking back to Haven, there were rounds that didn't make sense. They pressured B without reveals, without anything, and now they have perfected the game. They've left Pipson rivaling Rap God's words per minute. 13-12, and we could see map 3. I cannot believe it.
Waylander's face is like, you know when there's someone complains to the waiter, but you're not actually that man. It's like, and he's not happy with his steak. And Waylander's like, I was actually fine with it.
It was a bit dry,
was,
but
you know, I asked for
seasoning was nice.
I asked for medium rare, and it came medium. Like, it's really not that big of a deal.
Oh my goodness.
Like it's the eyes. He keeps looking at him like, oh damn, like he's really going in there, isn't he? I hope they don't show this on cam. We always show it on cam.
One round
Wouldn't
for
miss it for the
Pacific to get this map. One that they chose, one that GX looked bad on last week, but I'll say, like, Ara couldn't get anything done. He was being shut down in early fights. Now he looks so much better. GX have tidied up the game completely, and it's doesn't appear to be enough. At least it wasn't in regulation. Now to fight their way back on the attack side, the one that they struggled to find rounds on. Already blitzing in and losing Ara on the entry. It seems unusual in this map to see him lose an opening duel.
It's a good seize, but they just don't manage to capitalize off it. A few players tagged up, but those tags don't really play a part. I like the re-aggression as well from Pacific. They're not just sitting pretty, they're feeling confident. They're looking for those fights, and they are going to find them. 2 players about to round the corner. 1 dead immediately, the second as well. Map 3 looking inevitable. With the spike dropped, it's now a retrieval mission. Utility having to be used just to try and claim that back. And Grabidio's space has been watched for. West side 1v4. Split just moments away. unless he can have another hero play, which, I'll be honest, should never have been needed.
This is unbelievable
seconds left.
for GX. It looked like they did everything right, fanning the cinders of last week into flames and shining so bright for so long in that second half. They held the lead. But now, at the final hour, the final minute, at the bloody finish line,
10 seconds
Pacific
left.
have come back through. For all intents and purposes, they have snuffed out that flame of GX. Map 2 lands for Pacific. They're going all the way to split. A comeback for the ages. And for Pacific, one map away from really dealing what seems to be a death blow to GX. Let's go down to the stage where Nat is standing by with the star himself. It's 7.
I'm gonna do the best I can here to get the information out of it, but 7, I know your emotions right now are probably going everywhere, but what on earth happened in that second half for you guys to come back like that?
Honestly, it's just trusting our game plan, trusting our game. When you're down in rounds, you have to just do the stuff that you know that works, and that's what we did.
Okay, then my other question is, are we gonna see that from the get-go in map number 3, or do you think you're gonna have to be down by 7 rounds again to pull out that magic?
I mean, I think map 1 was a warm-up for us. I mean, so was a little bit of map 2, but I think all of us right now, we're primed up, we're all firing, we're all calming, and things are looking good for us.
All right, I like it. The fact that we're going to be seeing this Pacific showing up for map number 3. It's only a short moment before we get to it. Stay with us, because on the other side of this break, we'll break it down a bit more and be excited for that map 3.
In the EMEA, you have to prove yourself.
Want to find your fastest server every time? Express like a pro and optimize your connection in one tap. Express in game without ISP throttling. Express and shield yourself from DDoS attacks. Express and choose the VPN trusted by gamers everywhere. Express VPN. Experience gaming the Express way. Fast, stable, competitive. Outplay the world. It's time to Express. Unlock free cosmetics, including Lightning Kicks Buddy and more. Scan to subscribe.
come on, how do you make sure players are coming and focusing on into the next one? I don't know. To be fair, I think that they were even more calm than us. I think we just trust over game plan. Both attack and defense, we trust a lot this map. I really think that we had some unlucky things on attack. Also, the pressure after losing the first map is always there. But yeah, as soon as we won a couple of rounds, we knew exactly what we had to do because the gameplay was there. We have been pranking the map in the same way for 3 last weeks.
Yeah,
basically.
more or less.
So as soon as you win some rounds, you get momentum. You just need to let them do the job. And the overtime, perfect.
Yeah, simple as that. Like, there's nothing else to say, really. We've been pranking the map, we trusted the game plan, and that's it. Like, just do what you do every day. Simple as that.
There's the ability to be able to keep calm in a situation like that, make sure your game plan is executed to a T, and momentum, sure, that's an element of it. But to be 11-3 and have enough momentum to force overtime and then win it cleanly, Mini. Like, what on earth?
How do people do that?
How do people?
Seriously. Can you imagine?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Like, I know what you're doing, but yeah, I have no idea. I think it's just about you start believing again, the momentum. I think that Giant X specifically on that attack side, I highlighted before the game, they weren't defaulting that map again. They were just running it down, and Pacific had a good game plan going into it, being able to absorb the fact that, you know, if Giant X are going to go one direction only, then we can rotate really quickly. We can do anything we want to.
I like the way that Giant X was playing on the first half, like the way that Cloud was working with Tejo. I think that there was a lot of very good individual moments as well, but then things turned around. I think it's crazy. We also saw in the graphic that we just showed, a lot of those first engagements also going into the side of Giant X, but then this comeback happened. CNET having this moment here with the Neon, is he now going to be proficient in so many agents? Cupid in the 1v3? Like, hello, that did happen. Very, very exciting to see this kind of Pacific. And we heard the coaches speak about momentum. Think about how CNET was screaming top of his lungs by the end of this map.
Yeah, one thing I was worried about coming into the game is that, like, obviously 11-3 down, I'm starting to think, did we kind of overhype how good Pacific were playing? Like, we were saying that they could win this series, but they hadn't won a map yet, and then it was going down to 11-3. I was like, okay, maybe we overrated this team. And then coming back
crumbling type thing.
Not crumbling, I think they just made series close. But then this map, I was like, maybe they're just gonna prove us that, like, they can't just win. But here we go, first map win of stage 1, and looking good going into the third map.
I like it that they're also using it as, oh, it was just a little bit of a warm-up. Map 1 for us was, and now we've had that momentum. Map number 2 looks good, and now we're like, okay, where is map 3 gonna go for them? Because I'm also wondering, you know, is Pipson gonna need a new heart after that one?
He does.
was a little bit, you know, cagey at the end there, a bit aggressive there, but he did also give us a little bit of time to some of his words about Whaley and why they went the direction they did for this map 2.
Whaley has been nerfed. Are you still running it because it is a comfort for Ara? No, to be honest, like, I don't think that, like, Whaley has been nerfed only as a initiator part of doing things for Neon, to being able to play really, really strong of double dual combo that she just dash in the sky, slow from the sky and TP back while Neon runs you down. But we never ever played Whaley like this, so I don't think it has anything for us. It changes anything. So we see certain strengths of Whaley in other things. Just because of her abilities, which is similar to, for example, like Jet Dash with, but at the same time potentially like on defense, like and in attack you can take the space with Refraction, which allows you to play it like partly as a Yoru chamber on attack, disrespecting the things, but at the same time executing as Jet. So.
He would talk for days. Tell us everything. It's like, hey, Whaley's been nerfed. And it's like, yeah, but have you thought about how you can do anything that Whaley does with other agents? I'm like, oh, yeah, tell me everything about it.
He was still pretty set in stone. And of course, it wasn't the Whaley that felt like the thing that was undoing their comp here. The Whaley did phenomenally in that first half that you liked Kukuga.
Yeah, and I think that Ara is one of the players that we always highlight as he has to be having a good thing for them to succeed. But that is not what we saw on the first map. Also, in bringing back the Waylay conversation, Pacific, now we're going to jump into Split, right? They did play the Waylay last week. Casino was on it, and he's moved away completely from it. And now it's Westside's turn. Let's go!
Westside on the Waylay. Yeah, I mean, playing Phoenix is one thing, but playing a Waylay that's also just been nerfed is going to be extremely interesting. I'll be honest, I wouldn't be playing Waylay right now at all. But the fact that they're making, again, a player who's a Sentinel playing such a high-skill ceiling agent is something.
So normally when I interview players before series starts, I ask them about agents that they would like to play, and they're normally KG. I will say Westside said for himself, not on record, so I'm gonna, leak the off record. He said, I really want to play Waylay today, and I think there's a chance we will. So he wasn't willing to say it, but I'm gonna out him now. I personally am not surprised because this is apparently something that he's been wanting to pull out today.
You're telling me he knew we were going map 3?
He knew at least that he was gonna have Waylay. He knew. So I'm not as surprised as maybe you guys are.
I just like he self-reported that they weren't winning 2-0, to be honest. That's kind of crazy.
He kind of did it, indirectly. He did report that,
he saw
didn't
that
he?
as Giant at some point they're going to struggle, but at some point they will also bounce back.
When we talk about comps matchup, it's very double duelist heavy. We're looking at Split. They're going to be sending it. The style from Giant X has been extremely all-in, and on this map I love it, and with this composition I love it. So I think their attack side is going to look a lot better this time around.
Nice.
Also towards the end of that previous map, we saw Pacific being a little bit more aggressive on the defense. I would like them to carry it for this one. I would like for them to keep that momentum that even make them come into this place.
Do you think there's a way that Pacific might overexert themselves a little bit, though? That if they're carrying on momentum from map 2, they overextend and they kind of outplay themselves?
I think this team needs that confidence in Bravado to win. I don't want them to be calm. I want them to be hyped up and sending it and giving it.
Yes, exactly. I agree with him.
All right, I like it. Take that energy from map 2, bring it into map 3. I know two people who are very good at that, and that's our casters, Mitch and Tom.
Thank you, Nat. Yes, we are pumped up for Split. Not as pumped up as Hypok was backstage. I actually saw him do a little well, I can't say it.
He did a little what? What was he doing? What? Giddy?
I was going to say giddy jiggle, but I couldn't get the first word out. So
he was doing a little gigi, is what you said out loud. Anyway,
exactly
we're going to move
what I meant.
very swiftly on from that.
There he is again,
Mitch is saying weird things on broadcast. Who could ever imagine?
Oh, man.
This one's going to be quick and brief. We'll have to wait and see. It is our third and final map. It could have been a 2-0 in the favor of GX, but an astronomical comeback have made those Pacific fans feel giddy, and we'll have to wait and see if they're going to be able to take this one over the line.
Feeling gee is what you meant, but that's okay. I'll catch you on that one. I mean, to be honest, I'm surprised Pipson could still speak after his voice should be gone from the screaming as he watched.
Sorry, he's not allowed to talk into a pause now, so he can chill.
But that doesn't stop him. We've seen it. He's speaking to himself.
Waylander just sat there like,
that's one way to handle it. For GX.
Do you reckon he has him on mute?
I don't think it would make a difference being that close to him, man. He gets loud.
That's how we test our headphones.
Just get him up here. Well, we'll be slow play towards A. This Viper Wall is something you're going to see a lot on the attack side, just robbing information, making Pacific overextend to try to grab that info back. But already they've spotted players towards the top of ramp, and pressure about to come through the bottom. CNET dodges the flash. Beautiful shot onto Ara as well, starting with a first kill for CNET. So much damage done! But GX, they battle back 45 or less on every single player. But a 4v2. Anyone's game, and it's GX with the time on their side.
That comes down to mistakes. Is anybody going to give them an opportunity?
One enemy remaining.
Doesn't look like it. Westside's fighting. Ninja does at least get a couple for his trouble. A couple of orbs to go with it, but it is going to be the pistol round heading in the direction of GX. And something that is worth talking about is Westside going onto that Waylay. Because obviously we've seen him play Yoru before the nerf a little bit over in Clash. Phoenix has looked pretty good.
Phoenix has, yeah.
The Waylay,
though... Come on!
It's a very different role. It's you going in first, a lot of the time you dying first. So I want to see if that synergy has been built up between him and Ara. And if they are going to be able to make that one work as a duo.
It is a strange time to be moving to the Waylay for him after the nerfs, but we did talk about this before we started the show today of like, you could have your Waylay is going to have to pick different dive spots if you still want to use the stun, but that can set up the Neon to be the one closing the gap off the back of it. And I can see some success on the attack side coming from a well-executed comp like that, especially with Sky there to blind them up.
Yeah,
too.
Pipson in the coach confession as well sort of almost doubled down on what I said in the last map, which is that they didn't want to do that dive and throw slow. That was never their goal. So if you're not trying to do that and you're just using it as a better jet,
exactly,
that actually makes a lot of sense. So clearly, like, it didn't go fantastically on their last attack side, but hopefully on split alongside that secondary duelist, which is what I feel was missing, it might help them out a little bit.
But I do just think Waylay Neon Sky is so damn strong. I mean, you're playing with a Viper and you've got an Astra. The amount of opportunities you have to pop and burst out of smokes, out of walls, is sky high. Speaking of which, Tiger sent through to pave the way, already finding one up close, and that's a decent amount of defenders backing up this site now. They've all flooded in. A sea of blue, of cyan, and, well, West Side's turning it red, but they've lost 2 battles. Pacific fighting their way right back into this. They didn't even invest. This is not a force, but they are a force to be reckoned with. Cloud, 21 HP.
Look at the health.
They've got 50 between them on the other side, but 3 weapons pointed right back. 10 seconds, and no chance? Surely. He doesn't have time to plant it. Only one of them needs to play. A mistake needed for him to have any chance here. And, well, planting is definitely not how you're going to win this round. Cloud done for. In the end, it's Ninja's triple that brings us 1-1. A beautiful round, and you have to think for GX, they just took a little bit too long.
Yeah, ended up walking into the sack. Gave enough time for Pacific to pull off that rotation, and I don't think Pipson's going to be any...
I'm the GOAT, I think. No, I actually am the GOAT.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Ninja got 3 kills in that round.
I think probably it was a good stun he's talking about there. Got a lot of assists for it, but, you know, maybe slightly overselling your impact on the round there.
He's won champions, you know? It's fine.
True. He is a champion. And he was the GOAT. 1-1 at GX. Well, if they were feeling happy about winning that pistol, that's only amplified the loss right afterwards. Flickless down towards A main, and Pacific with an adjustment of fighting ahead of that wall coming down from ramp is really the weakness of it when you don't have players to back you up. Snakebite denies heaven control, and GX, it's a good round to learn from, to see all the utility that Pacific are going to be throwing at you, to see where they're playing. Maybe that ramp walk is going to be a weakness to exploit in the next. For now, though, it should be very, very difficult for them to find any impact in this round.
Yeah, I like, again, just the positions we're seeing from the Pacific players. Like, no real aggressive spots, all playing passive. I can't imagine this setup will be played much during the actual buy rounds, because you know that it's going to be so much harder to get those picked with the weaker weapons. And it is so flawless in round number 3. A huge boost of economy. Obviously not too much saved from the prior round, but it's mainly just winning when you were full ecoing, winning when you have all the guns, and now going into that first buy round with pretty much everything you could desire on the defense.
Yeah, it really is the best way to start a map, is losing the pistol and then following it up with a 2-round win. Your economy sky high.
Without buying as well.
Exactly.
You can pull that off regularly.
If you force buy round 2 and win, that's still a fantastic scenario. But yeah, coming in eco and winning, it's really a slap in the face for your opposition. 2-1. Buy up for both squads. Seekers online for the attackers. Not much else to report on. Certainly not on the defense. Nothing to answer back with. Deep aggression on A. Yeah, I said this could be something to exploit for GX, but oh my goodness! I didn't expect them to go running into the spawn, and that is going to be their choice of grave. GX really dominating those early fights, and I respect the attempt, but the shots hit on the other side are impressive.
Yeah, I also wonder, like, a lot of the time you're going to see teams playing either a 4-1 or maybe like a 2-2-1, with the 1 always being outside of the A site. I wonder if that was just them expecting that to be 1. Because the second there are 2 players, it does become a little bit more difficult to try and clear everybody out. Even still, though, Grabinho doing a stellar job. And hey, if anything, keeping 5 players alive on your side, straight back into a 2-2 scoreline. It's going to be important for GX just from the mental side of things, because that last map is going to take a toll. Like, you were in such a commanding lead, your opponents needed 9 rounds to basically get themselves back into the game and even take it to overtime, and you let that happen.
And you had clutches and big kill rounds from almost everybody on the side of Pacific as well. So many opportunities thrown to the wind by GX. That's why they're here. But yeah, like you said, I do think that's the exact adjustment from Pacific is we're going to full push towards A main. You have your C's, you have your nade. I think it was CNED that was there as well. So you've got the stun that can come out and a lot of aggression. So if there's numbers there, you catch them in the choke point. And if there's not, it's probably Flickless again, just holding that control by himself and you overrun him. He has backup, and that's really where the plan falls apart. The blind spot used to the attacker's advantage. Now it is just Flickless sitting outside A, but predictably, Pacific don't go for the push that lost them the last round.
Oh, now Operator in hand, missed shot. Getting out of here. CNED's trying to time it for when they stop spraying, and he has managed to do so. In fact, doesn't even take a lick of damage. Supportive utility in the snakebite to make sure they can't quite chase him down, and he kind of has a player locked into the angle, but a smoke utilized just to get them out of there. That's not bad, though, for Pacific. It means they've been able to hold on to that mid control. And actually, without spotting too much, you can already see the temptation from CNED to potentially gamble back towards A. He's been thinking about it.
Cosmic Divide lined up, and it will be to heaven. They're going to full push ramp, leaving Ninja to take a fight through a smoke or just spam his way to success. The reveal caught them for a moment, but no kill off the back of it. GX gets a sight, and a plant soon to be found. Ninja almost losing his life to the return spam from Flickless. And it will be the retake to be played for. And for one pick there, if Ninja just found it on the way out, that could be huge. They'd have Nightfall to fight their way back into the site, but failing that, and both Prowlers used, this now becomes a very difficult retake for the defense. Still without first blood to be drawn.
Oh, decent stun. Gives them the angle back, but the trades are immediate. A singular kill for 3 on the other side. And yeah, for the Pacific, it comes down to holding on to the weaponry. Yeah, you can rebuy most of what you have, but the Operator will be that little bit too expensive. Again, I think another round where you look at GX when they have a high-impact ultimate, in this case, the Cosmic Divide, and they look pretty good. Like, the take was very comfortable. The only real thing that could have gone wrong was if Ninja catches something off the reveal. I think that was the one piece that could have worked. And he does hit the reveal, it's just he doesn't hit the shot. That's all it came down to.
I think he put him half.
Yeah.
There's still a few shots landed. It's just hard to hit that Neon when she's sliding around like that.
Go, go, go!
Indeed, for GX to end up taking the cake there. We go back to sort of the observations towards that A site.
Go, go, go.
The aggression had been there. They knew this round with Flickless's info that it wasn't. And that's the late play, is just pop down the Cosmic Divide, force the pressure onto Ninja, and take the site. Oh, he's continuing. Arrow's gone through the stun. The Waylay dive as well, but they're not accounting for another player. So close inside the smoke. 7 gets a second, but all his teammates have fallen. Ninja now last alive. Fires through the Nightfall, and I think caught them both as well. Good information to play with. No trail going back towards main. Catches Ara in the open. In goes the reveal, and Ninja won't lose this one. The ult, when he's all alone, is a risk taken, but there's your reward.
Considering the Operator, but it's already there on site. Not going to be missed, but I feel like we've seen quite a few of these moments. A huge play from Ninja individually, but then you kind of look back to, like, the second that Nightfall hits in the Red Bull clutch, it almost just looks a little bit panicked. Like, too many angles to check. He could be running it down him from behind and giving him those 2 isolated fights. Like, after what was some impressive trades, it's just that. It's Ara in the open. I think he's a little bit worried that maybe somebody's coming from main.
Crazy.
But the fact that you saw where he used that Nightfall from probably should have given the game away.
Yeah, I mean, it was more towards stairs, right? So they are understandably suspicious of, like, a spawn walkout, but to be completely blindsided by the Heaven play is unfortunate, to say the least. New Viper positioning, thanks to the changes on the ult. He's going to still cover all of mid, giving a lot of space, but it's abandoned immediately. The pit left open as they wrap into heaven. Pacific reinforcing it with a snake bite down. Already reacting with a lot of utility, and this time CNET ahead of the curve. Ninja backing him up on site. In goes the showstopper as Flickless falls, and well, that push comes to a close very quick and cleanly for the side of Pacific. An in-zone flawless and a statement success as they get back into the lead.
Yeah, and an attempt at a much faster play from GX after kind of having the same success in the opening of the round. They go back to the same execution, and this time you just see that tunnel being created, and rather than cowering behind it, they get that little bit more aggressive. Wow, that's a very unhappy looking. That's maybe the first time that I've seen him look sad. Like, he normally looks annoyed. Someone give him a hug. Waylander, give him a hug.
Scout destroyed.
Pippi needs a hug.
It's actually what they're doing during this round.
They're just hugging.
Embracing each other. Waiting for the inevitable, tries to turn from the flash, but that's so smart. The early peak, Westside's ahead of their own flash, and you could see they never expected that. It almost looks silly from CNET's position, or from his perspective. There. Just him with his back turned in the middle, but...
Let's never stop hugging.
4-3, but it looks like we might be equalizing very soon because the push-up from Pacific, they think that they're wrapping behind the play, behind the push, but there's no push. GX are waiting for this exact thing to happen, for Pacific to overextend and them to come in with the punish. And now finally, they'll make their way towards the site. Now that it's a 5 versus 2 and they know one's outside B, the thinking is correct, that B would just be wide open.
Spike planted.
Again, the decisions have to be made. You have some credits to burn, but how much is the damage worth versus the potential loss of those extra weapons? As I said, it won't affect them too much going into the next round, but it's the future of the economy going into a 5 versus 2 scenario. It seems like maybe just going to trap them on an exit or two. Start in place. Grabinho's going walkabouts. He's looking for an opponent on the other side, and actually they do clear up those remaining weapons. From a flawless in the last to 4 standing in the next, it is a peculiar game to say the least. But we do end even.
Well, it's also a consistent game in that sense. It's being peculiar from the get-go. Not much has changed. A timeout called now by GX. Still tight in the early game, and well, Tom, you gave us it on Haven about the double timeouts.
It's a wombo combo timeout. Both teams feeling the need for a timeout.
You don't see that every day.
Well, it's interesting, well, because if it was the other way around and Pacific had been first, I might believe that Pipson was like, actually, no, I need 2 minutes here. I need the full time frame to be able to talk as long as possible. But it is the other way around, it seems. I wonder if they know the other has called a pause.
Oh, they'll find out very soon when that timer hits 0 and goes right back up to 1.
He genuinely is rap god.
I don't think Pipson's going to run out of things to say either. No. He'll be like, oh, I've got another minute? Okay. And go again.
I love watching Waylander. And he's literally like he's leaning as far away from Pipson as he can. Oh, it's my favorite thing to do in the pauses. But yeah, I think that back and forth, and especially the dominance of rounds in the back and forth, it's got to be a peculiar one to manage as a coach, because on one hand, you're looking at this and going, okay, we just absolutely dominated a round. But then with the way things have been going, you almost expect your opponent to come back at you in the next and make some sort of adaptation. And so they are both trying to react in that moment. But the fact is, normally, the team that calls the pulse, the other ones goes, okay, they're going to try and do something new, so we're going to either stick to what we do, because it worked, or we're going to try and adapt to them. Well, both teams have done that. So now you sit there and go, well, they're going to try and adapt to us adapting to them, so they then have to adapt to us adapting, so we should adapt to the fact that they adapted to us. Does that make sense?
You'd make a great coach.
Yeah.
For the halftime. I'd love to see some of the players.
They'll never expect it.
Do exactly what we did last round. Run it back. Well, look, for Pacific, I think either way, this has been a success. Showing that they've got the resilience to fight back into the previous map when genuinely, I've come in today, I'm rooting for them. And, well...
Why is that?
You know why. You know why.
I know why.
I got my carry down there.
There's a few other people watching this game, so...
Oh, we don't need to talk about it. But for Pacific, they've come in. And
I knew you and Pipson were close, but that's news to me.
In map 2, I really thought that there's no chance for the bounce back and for them to keep themselves in it. After the kickoff that they had, after last week, after map 1, after half 1 of Pearl, it's impressive. It really is, and it shows that we definitely have some of the right pieces there. There's more to be done. Deep Viper Orb being thrown through. It's active on both sides, and it will be the defense to drop theirs as they continue to walk down mid. GX waiting again, though. The patience there on the attack side. They find a huge reward! Arrow with the double, and Flickless follows up. Now, again, a 5v2 right off the timeout. GX have read that perfectly.
It turns out they tried to counter Pipson's rap god communication. It turns out he was just repeating himself, just do the same as last round. That's what he was saying over and over again.
Just wait, just wait. And if they do this, just wait. And if they do that, just wait.
The funny thing is, I could actually imagine him doing that. I could genuinely.
45 different connections. And in Flash A, just wait. You know what you do in Flash B? Don't answer. Just wait.
It's like Cloud. If they were to do it, and he goes, well, I would. No!
Shut up! Just wait!
Well,
except he would be shouting. We just use his speaking tone.
Guys, I know we all love each other. That's how he actually starts.
That's how he
sentence.
starts. Yeah, he's actually a very wholesome guy to speak to. It's all love with Pips, and that's what everybody says. Well,
I think he wishes he had the pause now. Because after back-to-back rounds where you've immediately gone into a 2 versus 5, that's probably a time where you'd really like a pause. And also off basically the same thing. Like, you're trying to get aggressive, which is normally quite common practice when you're running a double duelist, especially one of those being a Neon. But when you get wrecked like that twice, that basically your opponent's just holding for you, again, that might have just been the sort of like meta game of like, okay, they're not going to expect us to do this again, so let's do it again. But when you get decimated like that, that's kind of where you'd like to have a pause. And they do still have the credits to buy. Like the way that both teams have been able to keep the rounds they have won clean, and in some cases bring a weapon through as well. I am intrigued to see if that buy is going to be kept by 7, though. Is he going to go with a shieldless rifle? And he has.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Hey, if you hit the headshot and don't get headshotted, or body shotted.
Or even if you do get headshotted, it is what it is.
That's true.
As long as you're up against the Vandal or nice and close to that Phantom.
He just knows he's up against Westside. He's like, well, he's going to headshot me anyway. I don't even need the shields.
Exactly. It's a valid strategy, actually. Just always go half armor, except when Ara has an outlaw. Then you're in trouble.
Or in this case, no armor. He's got next step. He's evolved.
Well, let's see if this pays dividends. Already going to be avoiding the ultimate sent through by Westside. Now the Heaven split. They force themselves into main. It's going to be 7 alongside Cupid, but it's only 7 that's needed to hold the line. Clean shots without the shields, and clearly he doesn't need them. Westside and Cloud, 2v5. The shoe on the other foot now as 7 storms the site. Pacific with an in-zone flawless in return. I don't know what's going on anymore.
See, no, I've got it.
Okay.
So
here we go.
Pipson was actually planning for round 9. I think he was planning. He was a step ahead. Or behind. Don't know which way you look at it. Probably behind. He was a step behind.
He knew he could never beat Pipson right after the timeout.
He knew he couldn't beat
for the
him
round after.
So he was like, guys, we're going to lose the next round.
Yes.
But we're going for round 10.
We're going to lose.
Round 10 has always been my favorite round. So if we win that one, they're going to get a full sense of security. Yeah, it's balmy. The fact that they're winning their rounds so dominantly, but we sit 5-5, it's genuinely so confusing.
Treat him like a buttercup. Build him up just to take him down. Love to see it. Generational plans from Thinky.
That's the guy who just killed everyone last round.
Yeah, he got 3 headshots last round, clean as can be, and now he's caught in the open, goofing around. That's a strange one. Pacific, they have managed to make a big mistake and then massively overcorrect into a 4v2. This is a strange game, folks. I don't know what we're witnessing, but I don't want it to stop. Pacific, 6-5 now, and after winning the round after the timeout and then losing 2, I crave one thing, and that's an end-of-day Pipson highlight package. He must be going through all the emotions.
I thought you were going to say a 6-6, so that we have a beautiful little pattern on the scoreboard. 1 round, 2 round, 2 round, 10 round, 2 round, 2 round, 1 round. That's what I want.
Bobby. Let's go, man.
And the good thing is, as I am a broken record,
yes,
they can very comfortably still buy. And they come into this round with 4 of their 5 ultimates. So a good opportunity here for GX to level the half. It's exactly where we should be with how things have been going. An operator for Ninja, the Fade operator is a nuance. It's not something you see very often and might be in trouble. They're running through the utility, but hey, it's worked out for Pacific. That 6-6 not looking very likely. I think a combo breaker pattern ruiner is about to happen.
Oh, they always say a Viper Wall, a Snake Bite, and a Nade. Very weak combination. They pass each other on the ropes. They've passed each other on the ropes. Alorante, he's dodged a dog. What's going on? They have not seen this man. He is a specter, a shadow, and he is about to strike from the... He's made noise! What is this game? And now he's leaving the site where they are to track the guy he doesn't know is flanking. I don't know what I'm witnessing. Grabinho somehow comes out of this in the best position possible, strikes onto Cupid. Alorante's on the other side of the bloody map. And now Pacific, they've only got screens in sight to play with. They backed themselves into a corner.
But also that's where GX are going. They're walking into the one stack up on the side. And now Groovy's backstab almost seems meaningless. This has been a story of a round. One that I hope we never have to tell again. A 1 versus 3.
10
he's dead. There's no way he comes out of this alive. A 7-5 Pacific will claim the lead going into the half. A peculiar half at that, and we'll see if GX are going to turn the tide just one more time.
Seconds left.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Well, folks, don't forget to set your stopwatches for tomorrow at 5 p.m. CEST. You can get it to go that far. Where the big matchup between Fnatic and Vitality is going down. And you can see 2 former club mates head-to-head. It's going to be one to remember. But for now, we're getting one that we can't forget. A crazy game on the stage. Pacific and GX map 3. And if you had 3 words to summarize how we got here, you'd be about 45 words too short. And all of those words would just be, this has been madness. Pure madness.
I'm confused.
Yes, actually, very, very solid there, Tom. Very solid. That gives you the full picture. It has been a crazy game. Even that last round. You genuinely don't know. You know, normally you see these videos, it's like the 1 in 100 clip from Ranked or from an official where they pause it and say, what happens next? You could do that with any moment of this game on any map so far, and I guarantee you nobody would know unless they had seen it.
Most of those are fake and in custom service.
Yeah. A lot of people don't even sing over their clips live, and frankly, that's outrageous. Jack Igo mentioned, well, round 13, the pistol round. From what we've seen, it means nothing, because you can win with full classics against the buy in the next. That's what Pacific did. It's how they got here. For GX, on the defense, this is a bit of a challenge for them. But the success of the attack, a lot of it came from just waiting for their opponents to push into them. I do wonder if they'll have different energy here, though.
That normally seems to be the case. A slow attack, fast defense, and Alorante looking to claim that headshot machine title, but there is other contenders in the server. Ara maybe being one of them. A pistol switch in the middle of the fight. Cupid at least claiming one, but it's the advantage in the favor of GX. Meaning, if I'm going to metagame the story so far, Pacific are in the lead in this round.
Based on what we've seen, Alorante, oh, he's got the position. He'll catch one, the other on the other side of the Viper wall, but Flickless comes through with the pick they needed. Ninja's giving away the fact that he's here.
30 seconds
And of
left.
course, they would have suspected it, but now they know for sure 25 seconds. And it looks like they'll give him the space to stabilize, to get this plant down and flip the clock into his favor. He's very close to the elbow, but that gets him round. Well, okay, very close to the elbow and goes there with his knife out. Big mistake. And Westside's there to punish. Another pistol for GX. Now just behind by one.
Maybe let's kill them before.
Yeah, I like the reaggression. Ara does incredibly well to sort of get back down mid, shut down any of that additional control.
Nice!
That's going to be their second pistol. Of course, they didn't manage to get the conversion last time around. I do think that on the attack, that should be a little bit more difficult. It's not so much getting all the players in the right place at the right time, but saying that, if they were to rush B right now, it is fairly dependent on a Grabinho judge. Now that sounds like it's a safe bet, but you never really know, especially if Cena goes sliding past the angle.
He's in the smoke. He's playing a crazy game, a risky one, that's for sure. They're about to come out off the back of a reveal, but he can't break. His teammate needs to. The shots do not land. My God, it's atrocious! And they've killed Flickless in heaven. I don't know what I'm watching.
As DJ Khaled once said, another one. Or maybe not. A chance to try and respond.
Okay,
Ara has had enough. He wants to try and do it all, but he's died to the nade. Comes back down to a 2 versus 2. Still, only classics, he says, on the other side. But a gravity well, which could make things awkward. A chance, maybe, to do something here.
On time.
Already.
Got it half, though.
Got it to half, and that's definitely a problem. Somebody's going to have to swing this and hold in the angle. The wraparound not going to do anything. They manage to stabilize and convert the second round.
That's a
Good
really...
job, GX.
Yeah, listen, awful round, top to bottom. Well, not quite the bottom. They got there in the
all
end.
I'm going to say is I called the judge.
You did?
I said that, you know, if CNET comes sliding around that corner, sure, I'm really surprised by.
What's that?
We didn't get in slow-mo.
That's true.
They've turned a page.
Nice! Yeah, the replay's not over, Tom. I'm holding my breath. I'm waiting to see it. Okay.
Just cut away now.
All right. It's going to come right back to it. Whoops, forgot one.
We're going to miss the round, but we'll see it, though.
But the 7-7, the fact is GX get out with 2 weapons. That makes this round a lot weaker.
7-7, and 7 is on 11-11.
My head's already hurting,
Make a wish.
Tom. I don't... What? What? Okay, 7-7 is the score. And Pacific are feeling some pressure. Feeling the push in towards B main. They're going to back out of there. The reality is this is a round they don't want to take unfavorable fights, like when GX are, looking for the battle. You evade that because they don't have a lot to work with on that defensive side. They have a lot of weaknesses, and now they've missed the timing.
Unlucky.
I think Grubby might even have been seen stepping up there. Team Pacific were more than ready. And now, if they get the plant down, they can keep all these fights to range, which is what I want to see with so many weaknesses on the other side. And it should be an easy closer.
Yeah.
But what we're going to see,
I don't know.
Probably something different.
They're going to keep 4 players alive. I have faith.
Sky's out.
See, good start.
Nicely done.
Gone. Flickless.
Not push up.
Gonna take a bit of it. 3 players alive. They're going to keep 3 players alive. There's 3 would be fine. 2 would be worrying. 2 would be worrying. And if anybody else was to get caught from here, it would be an absolute nightmare. How? Ow. How? How?
I'll give you an answer to that, Tom. They pushed ramp. They pushed. They said we've got the advantage. We've got the plan. We've got the time.
Take it away.
And they're going to push in.
Oh, he's not ready.
They're gonna push into us, and we've got the range. So let's just take the fight to them. Let's just run at the pistols. That always works out well. Oh my goodness, this game. I've already lost years off my life.
At least you were right.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it feels really good to be right in a moment like this. That's just such an overplay of your hand. Everything went your way. You won the opening fights. You got the plant. Time's on your side. They've got to push into you. They've got to push into your angles. And sure, you want to get ahead of the utility. They've got a very good calm for bursting out. I understand that. But they also have pistols. And you pushed into the pistol range.
Now they have rifles.
Yep.
It is a repurchase. A judge for CNED. Judge has been unkind so far. Normally, well, when I watch the other Pacific, the region, it's normally pretty good. But we'll see.
I'll find you.
Over the top they go. This is a ruse. CNED is being sold to the wolves. He's being sent to his doom. But there's already an aggressive position from Ara. He only really needs to take one, and that's what he will do.
Yep.
Into the retake. Ninja's position is nice, though. They're going to pop some utility, but his flank is still in play. Timing here going to be everything, but he is making his move. Ninja by name, Ninja by nature. Alorante is kind of slowing them down at least a little bit. And now that backstab becomes even more deadly. It's only going to come down to Flickless if he can turn the tide, if he looks back in the other direction, but he is just waiting for his teammates to make that move. A troublesome position for one. Cooper in the corner, Ninja, that defender, but the trade has been made, and there Flickless pounces, his patience paying off. And GX will claim the round in the end. It's a nice try by Ninja, at least.
Yeah, I think really that doesn't come down to Ninja doing something wrong, right? It's just that they didn't push out the way he needed them to.
Yeah.
He needed them to flood so he could get them really quick. And because they took their time, Flickless can wrap up behind, and that closes the round. Otherwise, very different round we're looking at right there. Good attempt, but now the lead for GX and the money falling apart on the side of Pacific. It's nowhere to be found. There's a couple of credits. A few shots in the arcade machines, that's all they're going to get. And a timeout called here and now by Pacific, calling it out going into their low buy. Obviously, make the best of this, find out what you can about the setup that they're running, although I think we already have a decent idea. And the main thing will be to speak about the next round, because GX are about to be 10-7 up if things go as they should, which they probably won't. And at that point, all of the battle, the resurgence into Pearl, it starts to feel like success is on a knife's edge, and you're on the sharp side.
Yeah, I also feel like this is going to be, again, a bit of a difficult one to sort of talk through, because the round where you've actually come in with the proper buy, the main question comes down to your post plants. Like it's just like being overly aggressive in silly circumstances. And like, yeah, I get it a little bit more here from Alorante. You're trying to buy time for your teammate to wrap around. That's fine. But in the round prior, that was just silly. Like, it was just silly. And so you've had 4 plants. That's normally a very, very good sign that you're able to get into those post-plant scenarios. You get those few extra credits, get the orbs, and also get the timer ticking in your favor. But you've also lost all 4. And that is quite a damning statement for the first few rounds. And now you're coming in, well, you've got ults and a Bucky.
Looking for double digits. Not that much of a disadvantage in play for GX when it comes to the next buy round, even if they lose all their players. The start is good for Pacific, a trade, and now they'll focus in towards this A site. This is all we need. The control, and GX to go pushing into you. This time they don't have the rifles, but they do have the ultimates. And if they can get the pit down, this game, that could be completely different. Turning their weaknesses into a strength. As those pistols play inside the pit, they could put it down, but we're not seeing it just yet.
Maybe going to rely on other ultimates. They're going to have to rely on other ultimates because Alorante is already dead, and well, I guess they just weren't feeling it. A chance for Ninja, but again, a nice attempt. He's been having a good game, it's safe to say, but not this time. Another post plant. Seemingly another opportunity, but yeah, the thing is, I've seen teams, like, if it was the only ultimate they had, I could sit there and go like, okay, like maybe you want to save.
They have a plan in the next round.
You want to save it for your buy. When you have 4, I'm a bit surprised that you don't use 1.
Especially the pit, you've got pistols. You put their HP low. You can play off each other inside of it, and what did GX have to get back through? Now they've got ultis. They've got the Seekers. That's a big problem. They didn't have the Seekers at that point. They didn't have any ultimates to fall back on. And it also nullifies if they have an op in play, which you don't know at that point. It nullifies that. Seems like a mistake. But This is what the timeout was for. This is the round we've been waiting for. The Pacific we're waiting for. They saved over every ultimate that they've got here. In the previous round, not committing it to the 4v4 post plant. And for what? Well, that answer, it's within reach. It's a few seconds away, and already Flickless is down. That's a huge spam kill from Ninja. He's been very good on those. In this series so far, the response to flash out and take down one. West side right out of there. Great response from the defenders.
Showstopper out as well. Pretty much every kill you get on the GX side removes one of the ults, and or what would have been a good plan of get in with a Showstopper, put down the Viper's Pit. That idea is now gone. Nightfall sent through. It's not connected up to anybody. It gives some space. The reveal lets them know the West side is hit. But this is a ruse. And this is a ruse that, as of right now, has claimed 0 victims. Nobody has yet to move on the defensive side. They're sitting passive. Cosmic Divide goes in, and it's a solid ult to really make things awkward for Ara. But he's going to connect to the site. And now with 30 seconds, they go back into a B site, which again, as said, no one has moved.
Yeah, they heard the op on A. They think then that the rotate should be coming in. The pressure should be felt, but the headshot machine, he's got it again. And then the run, oh my goodness, Ara's missed. That was a crucial shot, a much needed one, 12 seconds, okay. They can win the sprint to the site, and the first man doesn't have the spike. His job is to clear this out, to find this defender if they're on side, but Cloud catches them all. A double with time too far gone. It's 11 for GX. A close round, but not close enough for Pacific. The timeout burned. That was the last one as well. And now the home stretch for GX.
Oh yeah, it was something that I sort of mentioned back on Pearl when they were playing the defensive side. Was
Yo, you run back and forth, bro. You need to know what you do, brother. Okay? Let's go, baby.
It's kind of yeah,
that's fair.
He said it perfectly. It's like they like to sell fakes on Pacific, but if GX don't move and you're not sending anybody into those sites, there's no real reason for them to, oh yeah, let's over-rotate, let's gamble, let's make all of these moves. It's not going to happen, and that is what lost the round for them, because the move back to B at the end, that wasn't the plan. That was panic.
Scout destroyed.
Didn't find the openings they were looking for. The adjustments on the fly not coming through after an incredible comeback on Pearl. It looks like one might be needed again. Not quite as daunting of a score line, but here on Split, the attack we've seen so far, there is much left. Oh, to be seen from Pacific. A good kill by Cloud! Flickless on the rope takes down Ninja. And now the numbers back to a 3v3, but this time the pit does come into play. But it's not on the site. They can completely avoid it, wrap around it. Grabinho has other ideas, sitting inside, waiting for aggression. They've caught CNET around the top now. Pacific want to push through. They want to get some information, perhaps. And if they do, that's the hope of Grabinho. He'll be there waiting, shorty in hand. But instead, they back off, move towards the site. This creates a danger. If Alorante goes down, Grabinho can easily join the troops, and in fact, the pit is going to fall. Now that whole defensive wing completely crumbles as Grubby lands both. And for GX, success against the odds, fighting back through that ult, through that utility against the clock. But for Pacific, it's just another head scratcher, man.
He didn't mean to let that pit drop, did he?
I don't think so.
No. Because like there was a moment where I was like, okay, they're giving up on the pit, so that maybe it reveals someone.
I'm gonna have a heart attack, bro. Oh my God, let's go.
Same, Cloud. Same.
We are right there with you, my brother.
I'll be honest, like up until this half, you guys were partially to blame. Especially the last map, but you know.
But right now, the second half is a completely different story to the rest of the game, which is GX are punishing every mistake.
Yeah.
That's
Look
it's
at
as simple
the
as that.
retakes. Every round bar one has been them retaking and winning.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to set a new record for the worst post plant in VCT history.
Certainly with the sample size. Ara, he didn't even hit the boombot. He's out of there. Giving up control. Damage done on 7, down to 30. And this one of 5 attempts for GX to close it out. They go pushing into the defense that's shown on almost every retake. They have waited 30 seconds. They've let the clock run down. They've let Pacific make a mistake. And this time, it's an early mistake. The same punish there from GX. A big advantage. And look at them again. They are just waiting. I don't know if Pipson genuinely screamed just wait 30 times during the timeouts, but if he did, perfectly played. Hold on. There's still some life in Pacific. We've seen them bounce back in some big clutch moments before, and now it's only the Viper from the pin left standing. Flickless does well, but CNED, he buys Pacific at least one more fight.
Yeah, we finally seen him come alive. I think in that round alone, he's almost doubled his kills. Yeah. He was on 5, now on 9. This overdrive was everything. Again, we saw this in the last map. Like, all it takes is a little bit of a spark, but there doesn't seem to be a spark there. Look at the faces. Like, every time in the last map where they were coming back, they were screaming, they were shouting, they were 3, 4, 5 rounds down, and we see them almost off their seats. We even joked about how CNED's getting hyped up.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Solemn. But that's the problem, though. The way that they've lost these rounds is getting a foothold, having an advantage, and then letting it slip. Yeah. And that's a completely different vibe to getting shut down in the entry. Okay, sure, we lost that fight. We played this wrong, but big mistakes were made. Pacific have a lot of course correction to do. 4 rounds in a row needed from this point, and it will be a slow start. This time they adopt the just wait approach and the fake again. This time towards B. They put pressure in B heaven. They're waiting outside B main. In fact, their A main players rotated back. This was a B fake into an A fake into a B hit. That's the plan from Pacific. Last time these fakes didn't work. Cloud was screaming at them from across the stage. Let's see if they've got a better idea this time.
Slowing them down.
Slow. Thrown in. He's trying to create disparity between the push, and I'll be honest, it worked for a moment. They need a little bit more. Grabinho, a nice attempt, but it's only the one. This time, it's not just a post plant, it's an advantage in one, but Cloud's trying to get a little bit cheeky. Gravwa, I like it. It's going to deny that little bit of extra space. Ara, though, has found one on the back. It leaves them a little bit more segmented, a little bit more trapped. The reaction from Pacific should be to try and fight one of these players. They're completely isolated. They're sectioned off. But as of right now, they're yet to find that fight, and they're splitting up themselves. A chance still for Ara. A chance to maybe take this here and now, but it's Cooper. He will keep them in the map. Another fight back from Pacific needed. And 2 rounds that come down to 1.
Such a narrow margin, but they are holding on to a cliff's edge by the tips of their fingernails.
I think it's a pinky finger at this
point.
It
really is. I need Luffy to pull them all the way up. 3 in a row here.
You're losing against me, bro.
Well, they're winning.
Yeah, they are, but they lost the round. You know what he means. You know what he means. Thing is, GX come in, 3 ultis to play with. Big impact on them as well. Ara to close distance. West side to open them up. The retakes can be terrifying. And we're seeing the same thing. We've seen this before, even from GX, even in this series. Most players, or some players, sitting in spawn while others look for information, find where the push is coming in. But I will give commendations to Pacific. The last round was much better than what we saw before, where they decide to play a much faster set of fakes. They left too much time between the B hits and the A hits last time, but this time it's much more direct, it's much more convincing, and that's a great sign. With 3 left to go.
More synergized as well.
Yes, yeah, they're fixing their pacing.
Blinded.
Because I think you could see it from the utility thrown out from West side. The goal was to hit one set of players so the others couldn't pincer them at once. This time, though, it seems like read is a wrong one. Alarente's doing a great job to sell a fake with only a bandit. Oh, but the whole team's coming.
There's that.
They're going to go back, right? Oh, no, maybe not. But the thing is, if that's been sold as a fake, now they do actually get to walk into an open site. It's definitely a little bit more risky if they want to move, but yeah, it's worked perfectly.
I was very nervous, but it is, well, there it is. That's exactly what I want to see. Yeah, if the stack was still here, they'd know by now, perfect. And I think the fact that they send in the pistol, perfect. They clearly sells it to fake. Here's the retake, though. We talked about this, how powerful it could be. The old pop by Ara, but he's going to be caught off by Ninja on the side. In goes the dash, but nothing found him. West side caught on the way back out. That was huge commitment. I mean, for West side to put his ult through it, it almost means Ara has to do the same to try to get in there quick, have some impact even on the slide, but being shot from an off angle completely decimated that play. And now those are some big pieces of the GX puzzle that will be missing for the rest of at least regulation here.
Yeah. Oh, clearly felt like there was a gap to exploit. Wasn't the case.
He looks very surprised that he hit that shot. Not what you want to see, but you know what, Cubert, you got a 3K the other round, so we'll let it slide.
2 rounds, 3 in a row. It seems like Pacific only start the party once they're basically out of the map. It felt like this was a done deal. Or maybe we're looking at the other side, and it's just like GX can't win a round the second they get to 12. Ara is looking to change that. The operator with the opener. Pressure being placed on, but Ara's there again. The distraction of Cloud has helped him out massively. Can he get out? Yes, he can. And they've been fantastic in their retakes with a 2-man advantage. Make it a little more. This time, it doesn't look like it's going to go back the other way unless Cupid has one of the clutches for the ages. Not this time. GX have managed to finish their second dinner.
It was a bit of a bumpy road to get here, Tom. There were a few potholes along the way, but showing they've got the resilience, pushing through on this final map and avoiding another comeback. 2-1, GX take their victory here today. Fanning the embers a little bit, but we've yet to see them on that full blazing inferno. Yeah. For now, promise and at least a lifeline, not going into next week 0-2. On the other side of the stage, this story, it's not looking good. For Pacific, they have to fight now. The next 3 games, it has to be a huge step up, and the opponents, they only go up in power as the